The massive space station floated silently above the neutral planet, its lights reflecting off the endless black of space. Alien ships of every shape and color surrounded the station, each one larger and stranger than anything humanity had ever built. Commander Jinsu stood on the bridge of the Earth flagship, the Daehan, looking out at the gathering. The humans were few, but they carried themselves with a confidence that surprised even themselves. Inside the council chamber, alien delegates chatted and laughed, their voices echoing in the vast hall. Humans were new to this council, and many of the alien species did not take them seriously. Jinsu could feel the tension in the air as the meeting began. He glanced at his team. There was Hannah, the communications officer, carefully monitoring all incoming messages. Beside her stood Byung-ho, the tactical officer, ready to provide advice if the talks turned hostile. Even though the humans were small in number, each of them was highly trained and determined. The first counselor to speak was a tall, silver-skinned alien named Theric. He sneered at the humans as he laid out the proposed peace terms. The council wanted humans to give up control of their space routes and allow alien fleets to patrol near Earth. It was a polite way of saying that humans would no longer be able to defend themselves without council approval. Jinsu listened carefully, nodding occasionally but keeping his expression calm. He knew that accepting these terms would make Earth vulnerable. The humans could fight if necessary, but they wanted to avoid war if possible. Still, there was no way they could agree to something that would risk their planet's safety. An alien named Kiri, with multiple eyes and a long, thin neck, chuckled at the human hesitation. "Do you not see that your planet is small and weak? You cannot resist the council's authority," Kiri said. Her tone was mocking, meant to humiliate. Hannah clenched her fists but remained silent. Jinsu felt a surge of anger but controlled it. He had to think strategically. The discussion went on for hours. Each alien delegate had their own opinion, but most agreed that humans were insignificant. The humans presented their own terms, which focused on mutual respect and non-interference, but the council barely listened. Byung-ho whispered to Jinsu, "They think we are bluffing. They will regret it if we walk away." Jinsu knew he was right. Humans had been underestimated before, and now was no different. He stood up and addressed the council firmly. "We cannot accept these terms. Humanity values peace, but not at the cost of our freedom. We will walk away if necessary." A murmur went through the chamber. Some aliens were shocked. They had never seen a species stand up to the council so boldly. Others laughed, thinking the humans would have no choice but to return and accept the terms. Jinsu turned to leave. Hannah, Byung-ho, and the rest of the human delegation followed. The council watched silently as the humans walked out. The air seemed to grow heavier with tension as the massive doors closed behind them. Outside, the humans gathered on the Daehan's observation deck. The Earth was visible below, a small blue and green sphere in the vastness of space. Jinsu looked at it and felt the weight of responsibility. They were small, but they were not powerless. Earth had defenses, humans had skill, and their ingenuity could not be underestimated. Hannah spoke softly, breaking the silence. "Do you think they will attack us now?" she asked. Jinsu shook his head. "Not yet, but they will learn, sooner or later, that they underestimated humanity. And when they do, it will be too late." Byung-ho leaned against the railing, staring at the distant council station. "They think walking away is weakness," he said, "but it is strength. They cannot see it yet." The humans spent the next few hours preparing for any possible retaliation. Engineers checked the warship systems, weapons were calibrated, and communication channels were monitored. Every detail was important. Even though they wanted peace, they knew the council might not respect their choice. As the human team worked, they noticed subtle changes in the surrounding space. Alien ships began shifting formation, scanning for human activity. The council was cautious now, unsure of what the humans would do next. They had made a fatal assumption that humans would be intimidated by the council's size and authority. Jinsu gathered his officers for a quick meeting. "We have made our position clear. Now we wait and watch. The council believes they hold all the power, But power is more than size. It is strategy, skill, and the will to act when necessary. Humanity has all of these. The days passed slowly. Each human on the Dahan remained vigilant, monitoring council channels, studying alien fleet movements, and preparing for the unexpected. Jinsu could feel the council's confusion and uncertainty radiating across communications. They did not understand humanity's resolve, nor did they understand that walking away from peace talks was not cowardice, but a deliberate statement of independence and strength. One evening, as the station's lights shimmered in the dark void of space, Jinsu stood alone on the observation deck. He thought about all the humans on Earth, unaware of the delicate balance in the galaxy. He thought about their technology, their courage, and their ability to unite in the face of overwhelming odds. And he knew that walking away from the peace talks had been the right choice. In the council chamber, debates continued. Some alien counselors argued that humans were reckless and that their insolence must be punished. Others warned that humanity's unpredictability could lead to disaster if underestimated. The seeds of doubt were growing, but no one yet realized the full extent of the mistake. Back on the Dahan, Jinsu turned to his team. "Rest now," he said. "We will need all our strength for what comes next. The council has made a fatal error in judgment, and soon they will see it for themselves." The humans looked out at the stars, ready for the challenges ahead. They had walked away from the peace talks, but they had not walked away from their duty to protect Earth. The council had made their first mistake, one that would echo across the galaxy. Humanity was ready, and the war to prove their worth had only just begun. The Galactic Council chambers buzzed with tension. Alien delegates argued among themselves, their voices overlapping in strange harmonies and clicks. They could not understand why humanity had walked away from the peace talks. Many believed the humans had no power, no fleet, and no strategy. Yet, the humans had left the council shaken in silence. Counselor Theric, the silver-skinned alien, slammed a long-clawed hand on the table. "How dare they leave? This is insolence!" he roared, his voice echoing through the hall. Other council members nodded, agreeing that humans were reckless and naive. But there was unease in the room. Some, like the elder Keela, with eyes that glowed faintly in the dark, whispered that the humans might be more dangerous than anyone realized. Back on the Dahan, Commander Jinsu watched the council through communications channels. Hannah, the communications officer, was busy analyzing intercepted transmissions. Byung-ho, the tactical officer, stood behind Jinsu, pointing at holographic displays of council fleet positions. "They think we are weak, but they are wrong," Jinsu said calmly. "They do not see our full capabilities yet." Hannah frowned at the readings. "Their ships are powerful and large, but they are slow and rigid. If we move carefully, we can avoid confrontation for now." Jinsu nodded. Humanity had always been underestimated in the galaxy. Their small size, simple fleets, and minimal numbers made them invisible threats, but humans had something the council could not measure: ingenuity. Meanwhile, in secret, some council members began whispering about their mistake. "Perhaps we misjudged them," Keela said quietly to a neighboring delegate. "They left willingly, yet they are not afraid. That is unusual for their kind." But Theric laughed and dismissed her warnings. "Weaklings. They are nothing compared to our fleets. The humans will return." Jinsu gathered his team in the ship's strategy room. The holographic displays showed the surrounding sectors and potential enemy fleet routes. "We need to be ready," he said. "They may strike or they may wait. Either way, we must plan. Our strength is in strategy and adaptability, not sheer numbers. Humans have survived against worse odds before. We will do so again." Byung-ho nodded. "I have been running simulations. If the council underestimates us and sends a fleet too close to Earth, we can use the planet's defenses to our advantage. We can hit them where they are vulnerable." Hannah added, "And the humans on Earth are ready. Their knowledge of technology and weapons is vast. If the council believes they can intimidate us, they are mistaken." As the days passed, subtle movements in council fleets became apparent. Alien ships patrolled areas near Earth more cautiously. Sensors picked up formations adjusting, waiting for signals they did not fully understand. The Council underestimated the human mind, which could think, adapt, and strike in ways that alien logic could not predict. Jinsu and his team worked tirelessly, preparing Earth's defenses, updating ship systems, and running drills. The humans on the Dahan trained tirelessly, refining tactics and learning to anticipate alien maneuvers. Each officer understood their role in the potential battle. Even Hannah, the communications officer, was trained to respond to sudden attacks and reroute critical systems. One evening, Jinsu called a private meeting with his core officers. The Council believes walking away is weakness. They do not understand human will. Our next moves must be precise, controlled, and decisive. We cannot allow them to make the first mistake. We will strike only when necessary, but when we do, it will be overwhelming. Byung-ho leaned forward, his expression serious. We can't just sit and wait. They are watching us, learning our patterns. If we move carefully, we can force them into mistakes. They will not be ready for humanity's methods. Hannah added, the Council's communication networks are flawed. We can intercept and manipulate their messages, creating confusion among their fleets. We can make them doubt themselves before a single shot is fired. Jinsu nodded in approval. Exactly. The Council has made a fatal mistake in underestimating humans. We will not be reckless, but we will show them the cost of arrogance. Humanity survives because it adapts, and no one can predict the mind of a human when their home is threatened. In the Council chambers, Theric raged as reports came in of small but well-coordinated human movements near the outer sectors. It is nothing. They cannot challenge us, he shouted. Yet the unease among other Council members was growing. Some questioned whether the humans truly had hidden strength. They are clever and they are bold, Keela whispered to another elder. Their walkaway was a statement, and statements can become actions. On the Dahan, humans continued their preparations. Engineers worked to upgrade the weapon systems, while pilots trained in simulated combat against alien strategies. The ship's crew understood that the coming months would be critical. Humanity's survival depended not only on skill and technology, but on unity and courage. Jinsu spent long hours reviewing strategies and analyzing Council fleet patterns. They will try to manipulate and intimidate, he said to his officers. But we have one advantage they cannot measure: human unpredictability. We think differently, move differently, and adapt differently. That is why we survive. As weeks passed, subtle signs of alien tension became clearer. Council fleets shifted formations unexpectedly. Some ships withdrew to safer positions, and communications were increasingly cautious. The Council realized that humans were not following traditional patterns of fear or submission. They had misjudged a species that would not be cowed. Hannah, Byung-ho, and Jinsu met on the observation deck one quiet evening. Earth gleamed below them, a small jewel in the vast dark of space. They do not understand what we are capable of, Hannah said softly. And when they do, it will be too late. Byung-ho nodded, staring at the distant stars. Their arrogance will be their undoing. They believe that size and numbers matter most, but strategy and determination are stronger. Humanity has survived worse threats than the Council could imagine. Jinsu placed a hand on the railing, feeling the weight of the responsibility. We will show them the strength of humans. They may see us as small and insignificant now, but when the time comes, every move they make will remind them of their fatal mistake. The Council continued their debates, unaware that their misjudgment of humanity was becoming a dangerous liability. Back on the Dahan, humans continued training, refining tactics, and preparing for a future they could not yet see but were ready to face. They had walked away from the peace talks, but that walk was not retreat. It was a statement. Humanity would protect Earth no matter what. And soon, the Council would learn that underestimating humans was the first of many mistakes they would regret. The space around Earth was tense. Human and alien fleets moved cautiously, scanning every sector for movement. Commander Jinsu stood on the bridge of the Dahan, his eyes fixed on the vast dark outside the viewport. His crew worked silently, each member focused on their duty. Hannah monitored communications, while Byung-ho studied fleet patterns on the holographic display. "They are moving closer," Byung-ho said, pointing at several alien ships approaching the outer orbit. "They do not understand that we are ready." Jin-soo nodded. "They think our small fleet is a weakness. They will soon see that strategy is stronger than numbers. Humanity has survived against overwhelming odds before, and we will do so again." The humans had prepared carefully. The Daehan's weapons systems had been upgraded, and every crew member knew their role. Earth itself had defenses ready to assist if needed. Humans had planned for every possible scenario, anticipating the Council's moves and countering them before they happened. As the alien fleet drew nearer, the humans initiated the first strike. The Daehan fired a precision volley at the lead alien vessel, targeting its communication systems. The attack was calculated and swift. The alien flagship shuddered as its systems faltered, and the rest of the fleet hesitated, unsure of what was happening. "They are not expecting this," Hannah whispered, her eyes wide as she watched the alien vessels struggle. "Our timing is perfect." Byung-ho smiled. "They think size and firepower are everything. But humans are adaptable. We strike where they are weakest, not where they are strongest." The humans moved with precision. Smaller ships from Earth flanked the alien fleet, cutting off retreat paths while the Daehan concentrated fire on key targets. The aliens tried to coordinate, but their rigid structures and reliance on predictable strategies made them vulnerable. Humans used ingenuity and unpredictability to gain the upper hand. Jin-soo gave orders calmly, guiding the fleet like a master conductor. "Focus on command and communication ships first. Disable them and the rest will falter. Remember, our goal is to show strength, not to destroy everything. We fight to protect, not to dominate." As the battle unfolded, it became clear that the Council had underestimated humanity. Alien ships, large and powerful, could not adapt quickly to the human tactics. The smaller, faster Earth vessels struck repeatedly, exploiting weaknesses in alien armor and shields. Every maneuver was calculated, and every strike was precise. On board the Daehan, the crew worked like a single organism. Hannah intercepted alien signals, sending false information that confused the enemy. Byung-ho guided the fleet around hazards and through openings in the alien formation. Engineers maintained weapon systems and repaired damage quickly. Humanity's teamwork and discipline contrasted sharply with the Council's chaos. In the Council chambers, panic spread. Theric slammed his fists on the table. "How can this be? Their fleet is so small. Yet they are breaking our formations." Other Council members tried to rally, but confusion and fear were spreading among them. Keela watched quietly, a knowing look in her glowing eyes. "I warned you," she said softly. "They are clever. They are not weak and they are not afraid. You underestimated them, and now you pay the price." Back in orbit around Earth, the human fleet pressed their advantage. The aliens began to retreat in disarray, their communication lines jammed and command structure in chaos. Humans pursued selectively, disabling key ships while avoiding unnecessary destruction. The goal was clear: demonstrate humanity's strength and protect Earth, not annihilate the Council. Jin-soo addressed his officers, his voice steady and commanding. "We have shown them our capability. This is just the beginning. Humanity is not a species to be controlled or ignored. They must understand that Earth will defend itself at any cost." The alien fleets were scattered, their formations broken. They had expected humans to fear them, to submit under pressure, but the humans had acted decisively and intelligently. The Council had made a fatal mistake, believing size and authority were more important than skill and adaptability. Hannah glanced at Jin-soo, her voice filled with awe. "They are in chaos. The Council is finally realizing that they misjudged us." Jin-soo nodded. "Yes, but we must remain vigilant. They are proud and they will seek revenge. We have won this battle, but the war is far from over. We must prepare for what comes next." Byung-ho added, "This victory is as much psychological as it is tactical. They will remember this day. Humanity will no longer be underestimated." As the battle subsided, the humans regrouped near Earth. Damage was minimal and morale was high. The Dahan and its fleet returned to strategic positions, ready for any further action. Humans had proven that their small size and numbers were not weaknesses. They had demonstrated the power of unity, intelligence, and adaptability. On Earth, news of the fleet's success spread. People celebrated silently, unaware of the detailed strategy and courage displayed in orbit. Humanity had not only defended itself but also sent a message across the galaxy. Earth would not bow to intimidation or deceit. In the council chambers, debates raged on. Some council members demanded retaliation, while others argued that humans should not be underestimated again. Gila, watching silently, shook her head. They have shown strength and ingenuity. The council must respect them, or face greater losses in the future. Jinsu knew that the council would learn this lesson slowly. Humans had shown what they could do, but their patience and intelligence meant they would not overreach. Earth would defend itself, but it would do so with precision, strategy, and careful planning. As the Dahan orbited Earth, the crew reflected on their success. They had struck first, not out of aggression, but out of necessity and strategy. They had shown the council that underestimating humanity was a grave error, one that would have consequences far beyond this battle. Jinsu looked out at the stars, feeling a mix of relief and resolve. The council has learned something important today, he said. Humanity is not to be ignored, underestimated, or controlled. We fight to protect and we fight with purpose. The galaxy will remember this. Hannah, Byung-ho, and the rest of the crew stood with him, united in understanding and determination. Humanity had walked away from the peace talks, and now they had struck back in a way that would resonate across the galaxy. They had proven that intelligence, courage, and adaptability were the true strengths of their species, and the council would never forget it. The council fleets had retreated, but the humans were not done. Commander Jinsu knew this was the time to press their advantage, but carefully. They had shown the council that humanity was a force to be respected, but the war was far from over. The Dahan moved quietly through space, monitoring scattered council ships and looking for weaknesses. Hannah studied the intercepted communications. The council is confused. Some factions are arguing about how to respond, and others are trying to regroup their fleets. They do not understand our tactics. Byung-ho nodded. This is our chance. If we move carefully, we can hit them again before they regain order. But we must avoid unnecessary risks. Every ship counts. Every life counts. The human fleet prepared for the next strike. Small, agile ships moved to flank the remaining council vessels, while the Dahan coordinated attacks from the center. Each crew member knew their role. The humans had learned quickly from their first engagement, and now they were even more precise. As they approached the council's secondary fleet, Jinsu addressed his officers. Our goal is not total destruction. We fight to protect, to defend Earth, and to show our strength. Let every move remind the council that humans are not weak, and we are not afraid. The attack began with surgical precision. Human ships disabled key command vessels, jamming communications and targeting power systems. The council's forces were caught off guard. Even the fastest alien ships could not anticipate the humans' unconventional maneuvers. Humans used the terrain of space itself, hiding behind asteroid belts and planet shadows, striking when the council expected safety. Hannah intercepted more messages, feeding false orders to alien captains. Confusion spread through the council fleet as ships collided and misfired. Byung-ho guided human pilots, pointing out vulnerabilities and escape paths. Every strike was measured, every move calculated. Humans were proving that strategy and intelligence could overcome even the largest fleets. In the council chambers, the delegates were in chaos. Theric raged, but his voice was drowned out by alarms and emergency communications from the scattered fleet. Some council members began to question their previous assumptions about humanity. We underestimated them, Keela said quietly. Their courage, their intelligence, their unity. They are not just surviving, they are winning. Theric ignored her warnings and demanded more retaliation. But other factions were hesitant, realizing that further attacks could lead to catastrophic losses. Humanity had forced the Council to rethink their arrogance. For the first time, humans were being recognized not as weaklings, but as a formidable species. Back on the Dahan, Jinsu watched the battle unfold. "We fight with purpose, not anger," he said. "We strike to protect, not to dominate. The Council must understand this, or they will lose more than they imagine." Byung-ho studied the alien fleet. "They are disorganized. Their pride is hurting them. If we continue carefully, we can force them into submission without unnecessary destruction." Hannah added, "The humans on Earth will hear of this. Our victory will inspire them. And the Council will remember what it means to underestimate humanity." The human fleet continued to press its advantage, targeting only key vessels and command ships. Alien ships were forced to retreat again, suffering losses and confusion. Humans were careful to avoid civilian worlds, focusing solely on Council forces. Their precision and discipline contrasted sharply with the alien chaos. As the battle reached its peak, Jinsu addressed his officers one final time. "We have done what the Council could not anticipate. We have shown our strength and our strategy. The war is not over, but humanity will not be broken. Every move we make is a lesson in what it means to be human. Courage, intelligence, and unity are our weapons, and they are more powerful than any fleet." The Council fleets finally withdrew, scattering across the galaxy. Humanity had struck again, demonstrating not only strength but wisdom. The aliens had learned that humans were unpredictable, determined, and capable of precise, intelligent action. They had misjudged an entire species, and the consequences were clear. Jinsu and his crew returned to orbit around Earth, their ships intact and systems fully operational. Engineers repaired minor damage, while pilots and crew reflected on their achievements. Humanity had not only defended itself but also sent a clear message. Earth would not be controlled, and humans could fight with purpose and intelligence. On Earth, the people remained largely unaware of the details, but the human fleet's actions would resonate for generations. Humanity had proven that even against overwhelming odds, they could survive and thrive. Their ingenuity, courage, and unity were unmatched. In the council chambers, debates continued, but the tone had changed. Some council members now recognized the need for diplomacy, others feared further losses. Keela observed quietly, knowing that the council's arrogance had been challenged in a way it would never forget. Jinsu stood on the Dahan's observation deck, gazing at Earth below. "We have fought wisely, and we have won strategically," he said. "The council must learn that humanity is not to be underestimated. We defend our home, we protect our people, and we do so with intelligence and courage. That is the essence of who we are." Hannah and Byung-ho joined him, watching the stars with quiet pride. Humanity had taken a stand, and they had emerged victorious. The council would now know that walking away from peace talks was not weakness, and that humanity would fight to protect what they loved. And in that lesson, humans found not only strength but recognition across the galaxy. The council fleets were scattered, and the humans had regained control over the surrounding space. Commander Jinsu stood on the bridge of the Dahan, watching the stars and monitoring the movements of alien ships. The council had suffered both strategic and psychological losses. Humanity had shown that it could strike decisively, and now the galaxy was beginning to take notice. Hannah worked diligently at her communications console, intercepting messages between council members. "They are panicking," she said quietly. "Some factions are arguing, others are seeking ways to negotiate. They did not expect us to be so capable." Byung-ho studied the fleet movements, a determined expression on his face. "This is our opportunity. We can consolidate our position and show them that Earth cannot be threatened. But we must act carefully. Every move we make will be watched." Jinsu nodded. "Humanity has already sent a clear message. The council underestimated us and they paid the price. Now, we finish what we began with precision and purpose. Our goal is to protect Earth, not to dominate." But we will make them understand that underestimating humans is a fatal mistake. The human fleet prepared for a final coordinated strike. Smaller, agile ships moved to flank the remaining alien vessels while the Dahan provided central command and firepower. Every crew member knew their role, every system was ready, and every strategy had been carefully calculated. Humans had learned from every engagement, and now their experience would be decisive. As the attack began, alien ships struggled to coordinate. Their systems had been compromised in previous battles, and human tactics were unconventional and unpredictable. Hannah sent false signals, confusing enemy captains and causing disarray. Byung-ho guided the human fleet, pointing out vulnerabilities and safe approaches. Every strike was precise, and every move forced the council forces into retreat. In the council chambers, panic had turned to fear. Theric slammed his clawed hand on the table, his voice loud but filled with frustration. How can such a small fleet cause so much damage? They are humans, and they are not afraid. Keela, quietly observing, nodded. I warned you. You underestimated them. Now you see the cost. The humans did not seek total destruction. Their strikes were targeted at command and communication ships, disrupting the Council's ability to organize without causing unnecessary loss of life. Humanity had shown its strength, intelligence, and precision. Alien fleets retreated further, confusion spreading through the ranks. The Council realized that humans were not only strong but clever, disciplined, and united. Back on the Dahan, Jinsu addressed his crew. We have fought wisely and with purpose. The Council will remember that humanity does not bow to intimidation or deceit. Earth will always defend itself, and humans will always fight with intelligence and courage. Byung-ho nodded. They cannot underestimate us again. Our victory is strategic and moral. They will think twice before threatening Earth in the future. Hannah added, and the humans on Earth will know that their fleet protects them. They will be inspired and ready to stand together if needed. Our actions have shown that intelligence and unity are the true strengths of our species. The Council fleets were now scattered, some fleeing to distant sectors, others seeking negotiation. Humanity had forced a change in perception. The Council had underestimated the humans' courage, skill, and adaptability. They had learned a lesson that would echo across the galaxy. Jinsu looked down at Earth, a blue and green jewel in the darkness of space. We have protected our home and our people. We have shown the Council what it means to underestimate humanity. They may still be proud, but they will respect us from now on. And if they forget, we will remind them again. Hannah and Byung-ho joined him, standing together in quiet pride. Humanity had walked away from the peace talks, but in doing so, they had proven themselves across the galaxy. They had used intelligence, strategy, and courage to protect their home and send a clear message. Humans were not to be underestimated. As the Dahan orbited Earth, the crew prepared for whatever might come next. They had won this battle, but they knew vigilance was essential. Humanity's strength lay not only in its ships and weapons but in its ability to think, adapt, and unite. The Council had learned the hard way, and the galaxy would remember. Commander Jinsu looked out at the stars one last time. Humanity has walked its path with pride and purpose. The Council made a fatal mistake by underestimating us. Now they know the truth. Earth will remain free, and humans will always defend it. That is the legacy we leave for the galaxy. The crew of the Dahan felt a sense of accomplishment and unity. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds, and through strategy, courage, and intelligence, they had emerged victorious. The Council would never forget this day. Humanity had proven that even against the greatest powers, it could survive, adapt, and triumph. The galaxy had witnessed the strength of human resolve, and Earth's defenders would ensure that it remained respected and safe for generations to come.